Welcome in, guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. Let me know if you guys can hear me good. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. It's probably a little bit of a delay on my end. All right, good. All right, so if you guys are ready for tonight's presentation, just let me know in the chat how excited you are for this. The information that I'm going to be sharing is this information is going to really change your mindset when it comes to business, because a lot of people don't really know how easy it is to get into business. So this is going to change your mindset when it comes to, if you've ever thought about starting a business, even if you haven't, this will probably make you want to start one. So I'm telling you from personal experience, if you don't know anything about me, I've run multiple passive income businesses where they just run themselves. A lot of them are automated. Most of them I partner with other companies to do the work for me at a small percentage. So you're not learning from somebody who hasn't done this. I've failed in business. I've succeeded in business. I've failed to the point where I had to start over from scratch, and to understand that there has to be a proper foundation built before you can make anything happen. So I'm excited to share this information with you guys. So before I start, I wanted to say that today's economy is shaky, and being an employee is not really something you should want to be in, because that is kind of like shaky right now. A lot of the CEOs themselves are being investigated for some of the, these larger companies. And these corporations, they've done so much fraudulent stuff that they're looking, they're more so looking into getting rid of their workforce and replacing it with AI. At some point, that's going to be a reality, right? So we want to be proactive and not reactive. And first, before we get into it, I want you guys to know that whatever you're going through in your life at any time, you have the ability to change. It's up to you to make that difference. You have to realize that you are just operating this vessel, and this vessel is not who you are. It is just the tool that you use to navigate in this world. Okay? It's like you're driving a car. You're the driver of the car. But you're not the car, right? You're a spark of light that emanates from the soul, and it fills in this whole vessel like a glove, so that it can fit and it can move the arms and the hands and use the brain and be able to speak the words that I'm speaking and the words that you speak every day. It's a spirit that is operating this vessel. So anything that you want in this world, you can have, but you have to change your mindset. If you didn't see my video about changing the mindset, me and my husband did a video. We posted part 1. It was actually filmed last year around this time. So it's a perfect video for the time. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. When we get more views, we'll post part 2, and we'll keep posting videos like that. We have a whole lot of them. But I just wanted to start showing you guys my personal life, to show you that I really live the life that I speak to you guys about. So I'm not one of those people who just say these things and I'm not living it. I'm going to start showing you guys that I'm walking the walk that I teach you guys that you can do as well. And I want you guys to see that it didn't come overnight. It wasn't easy to come by. It took dedication. It took literally me to change my mind, and my life changed after I changed my mind. So I want you guys to see that it took a lot of sacrifice to get where we are today. And I want you guys to realize how this information can change your life. It will change your life if you use it appropriately. So without further ado, I'm going to get right into tonight's presentation. How about now? Can y'all hear me?
Oh, you would hear yourself right here, bro. You would hear yourself on my phone.
How about All right, cool. So I'm gonna start over. I think it's because I took myself off the stage. All right, so um, today we're going to be talking about how to build a fundable business in today's economy. Today is November 19th, 2025. I'll be putting dates on the presentation so you guys will know that this information is the most accurate and up to date information. And we're going to get right into it. So the information in this presentation is for educational purposes only. Everything shared in this presentation is from personal experience, application, and execution. I have several successful automated passive businesses that run while I sleep. And the key is to have a vision, a plan, and a mission. Starting a business is simple, but there are a few vital things you must know, so take notes. The info in this presentation can change your life for the better, so use it wisely. I'm going to be talking about some stuff that I believe people charge a lot of money for, and I don't understand why, because everybody has the opportunity to become their own business. I feel like there is enough resources out there for all of us to be able to, you know, be successful in our own, right. So I like to give people information, and what I'll give you, I want you guys to go and see the rest of it, however that may be, however that comes across. Some people just need a little bit of breadcrumbs so they can follow the trail. Others may need a little bit more assistance, but we'll discuss all of that later on. But I want you guys to be ready to take notes. So if you're ready to get deep into this information, go ahead and type it in the chat. You can put a 1 in the chat, or you can type ready, and then we'll get started. And sorry again about this sound. I'm still trying to learn how to go live on here and use this stuff, so I'm still a little bit new to it. And I took myself off stage and didn't realize that it took the sound off. All right, let me show those ones on this. All right, cool. I like to see it. Everybody's ready to go. All right, let's get into this. Before we start, please smash that like button. Every time that you hit a like button on my videos, it helps with letting YouTube know that this is an interesting topic, and it push it out to other people. Sharing the video also does that. So share it to other people who may be wanting to start a business and don't know where to start. This video is going to put all of it into perspective for you guys. Comment below, comment throughout this presentation. If I can get to the comments, I will. If I can't, thank you for the support anyway. Also, be sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and turn on post notifications so you'll know whenever I go live. The more you interact with my page, the more you support my page in that way, the more I'll share information. I have a lot of videos. I want to start showing you guys my life and how me and my family live, to show you guys that I'm not just talking this stuff. I actually live a free life where every day I get to wake up and decide, what do we want to do today? My children are homeschooled. I don't homeschool in the traditional way. I homeschool in a way where life is our teacher. It's teaching us along with our children. We're healing as a family. We're going through a lot of stuff together. And I feel like a lot of people who talk about this are not really, displaying it in real time. So me and my husband decided that we would start sharing our lives a little more. But I need you guys' support, because that's going to help us to see like that people really appreciate this. The life that we live it wasn't easy to get to this point of life. And I want to show you guys that yes, it's attainable, but it also requires a lot of dedication, sacrifice, and self-perseverance, because when you're taking this route and you're living this life, it's different than the common way, that the traditional way that you've been raised. So there's not going to be a lot of support. There's not going to be a lot of people who comprehend or understand what you're doing with your life for you and your children and all that kind of stuff. So you're going to have a lot of pushback. So me and my husband wants to be more transparent and show you guys what it's like to live a life as a private family. And that's, private entrepreneur family who came from nothing, group homes in Section 8, pretty much parented ourselves, met at a young age, had a family, and we made things, we beat the odds, is what people say. So it's attainable. You guys can do it. Everybody can do it. If you're willing to, take that leap of faith, then this information is going to help you. Everybody knows that tax time is around the corner. What are your plans with your tax money? A lot of people get their money and pay bills with it, but paying bills is not helping you to circulate the funds back into your home so that you'll have a way to grow your income. Now, the way that we look at money is incorrectly. We look at money as if there's not enough. We have to go find a way to get more. We look at it with a scarcity mindset, what they call it, right? Meaning that if there's not enough, then I have to go and get more. I have to always chase it. We have to chase this. I'll sleep when I die. That's that hustle mindset. That's the incorrect way to look at money. Money is a currency, and currency cannot flow when there are blockages. And one of the biggest blockages to currency is how you think about what you are, your money. How are you thinking about your finances? Is it always negative? Are you always complaining about how you have to pay bills? Are you always feeling like you're working to pay Peter just to rob, take from Paul, and go in the same cycle? That is the beginning of getting to the next level when it comes to money. Again, I've said this time and time again. I grew up in Section 8. I come from Baltimore, Maryland. If you don't know nothing about it, go look it up. It's one of the most impoverished places you can come up from. Me and my husband both. It's not a place that you usually can come out of really easily. Okay, it's a place that is literally called crabs in a barrel because that's the type of energy that's there. When you're trying to make it out, the people around you are going to pull you back down. Your family is your enemies type of situation. So with that being said, we didn't come from a mindset where money was of abundance to us. To us, money was something you had to work for, and it was hard to come by, and we hustled to get it in any way possible. So I come from a really messed up mindset. So I'm telling you guys from a realistic standpoint that if I could change my mind, you can too. Money flows to me with ease because of how I think about it. I use it as a soldier, and I deploy my soldiers. So whenever money flows in, I make it circulate around into different ways inside of my own system. So in our boot camp, we'll be teaching you guys a system that you can use, and this system will help you circulate your money to make your money look like more than what it is, even if it's not a lot. It's about what it looks like on paper. I keep telling you guys, the way that things look on paper, the story that is told on paper is what will get you to the next level. But if your story on paper does not make sense, you will not make it to the next level. In this system, we did not create it. We did not create the rules. We didn't even know that there was a system. But now that we know that there's a system, we have to understand that there are rules to the game, and we have to learn how to master the rules. We don't try to change the game. We don't try to rewrite the rules. We try to play the game to win. Now that we know we've been entered into a game, how can I win this game? How can I come out on top? So you have to learn the rules of the game to play it to win. So with that being said, everything that you do in this system is contracts. But do you have to contract with your person, meaning your all caps name? No. You can contract with entities that you create, and you can create these entities to operate accordingly and according to your desires. So if you want to stay private, you can do that. The best position for you to be in today's economy and the future is the trustee position. You want to be the trustee of a private corporation, and you want to have access to funding because money is not real. And because you understand this, you will play this game on paper to make everything qualify for this fake money so that you can get more of it and win this system. That's the whole idea. Okay, so let's get into it. Without further ado, if you haven't smashed that like button yet, go ahead and do that now. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe now. Today's lesson is designed to give you the clarity, structure, and direction needed to build a real fundable business, not a hustle, not a side project, a legitimate business that banks respect, support, and are willing to invest in. Now, I got to be transparent with you guys before we get into it, but even if this doesn't apply to you, even if this does not apply what I'm about to say, you still need to stay here because this information can help you once you get that situation taken care of. Which the thing is this: you have to have excellent personal credit. It is required to gain access to business funding. I don't care what anybody says to you. You can still get business funding with a business that is properly structured without personal credit, but it is very limited. You're not going to get the amounts that you could get if you had good personal credit. So we have to understand that in this system, your person has something called credit, and it has requirements and guidelines and data points that have to be met for you to go forward. Okay. Even if your credit isn't good, there are ways to fix it. If you are interested in repairing your credit yourself, please click the link in my bio or the link in my description. In this video, you can get my email and you can send me an email. We have a DTB Power Blueprint where we get your credit reports and we structure a plan for you that actually works for you to do yourself, how to do it, the steps and everything we give to you in this Power Blueprint at a very affordable price, less than $200. You will be fixing your credit and on your way to building for the future. You have to have good credit. Okay. What this presentation will cover. Let's talk about the topics of discussion. We'll be talking about how to start a business the right way, why structure matters more than motivation, what lenders look for in personal credit, what lenders look for in business credit, how to build credibility, how to position your business for funding, why the current economy demands ownership, what to do next, and we'll also discuss our early bird bootcamp details with our DTB Business Bootcamp that's upcoming. All right. Quick reality check. The reality behind it all. The economy is shaky for employees. The system is moving into digital numbers, digital identity, and digital financial evaluations. Job security is gone. The safest position you can be in is as the trustee of a properly structured business that can generate income inside this new digital system. So we want to be ahead of the game because there are so many people walking around afraid. Look at that. Somebody said they're about to get $1 million in funding on a shelf corp. That's what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. And if you have the proper game plan with that 1 million, you will be fine for the rest of your life and your generations after you, because it's literally easy. You just have to have a vision and a plan, and it has to make sense. Let's talk about the why business ownership matters now. It gives you leverage. It protects you from layoffs. It positions you for loans and funding. It separates your personal liability. So when you have good business credit and you also have good personal credit, they literally will give you money that only reports to and for and pulls from your business credit, which will separately it will completely separate your person from the entity of the business. So literally, like for some of our businesses, we have cell phones and Wi-Fi service, right? And that cell phone and Wi-Fi service was acquired with the EIN of those corporations, not our social security numbers. We are just, if we do the contracts or if we sign anything, we're signing as authorized representatives or members, or we'll hire someone to do that. It's not no liability on us personally. It's all on the corporation. So the bills come in the corporation's name to the corporation's address. You see, the money for those contracts or with those bills, they get paid from the business bank accounts that we have in the name of the business. You see what I'm saying? It's about playing with a role that you created. Okay? It's about playing from a role that you created, not playing from the debtor role that they created at your time of birth to tell you who you are and what you're supposed to do, which keeps you poor. And it's all done by design because it puts all personal liability on you. So anything that you decide to do is always going to fall back on that person, which we literally don't want. Okay, this also creates generational structure. It prepares you for the new and upcoming digital economy. No matter what anybody says, we're moving into a digital economy. The signs are so clear. The flags have been waved already. We just have to be ready for it as it transitions out. It's going to take a while to transition out, but it's happening, period. And it also lets you operate outside of the rat race. The rat race will keep you asleep. The rat race will keep you poor. The rat race will keep you running. Okay? So starting your own business is not just a financial move, it's a sovereignty move. You're calling back your power to do something that you have control over. Okay? And the beauty of it all is banks actually love small businesses, especially credit unions who give out the most in funding. They love small businesses because small businesses help to fund the banks. It helps to keep their life insurance policies where, so when you put money in these banks, all they do is take it and put it inside of their compound interest insurance policies. All right. That's why if you have a large amount of money that you need to take out of a bank, it takes them a couple of days to get it because they have to go and get it. You see? They have to cash it out of all of their securities and all of their little assets that they have privately stored in trust and hedge funds. All right? They're not hoarding it away in hopes that it'll grow. Hoarding your money away in hopes that it will grow is one of the stupidest things you can do in today's economy because hoarding money doesn't circulate it. It eventually, no matter how long you hoard it, eventually it's going to deplete. You're going to end up spending it. It's best for you to learn how to circulate your money so that you can gain access to different things. So contrary to what people think, the truth is banks want to lend. They want small business clients and they want strong businesses in their portfolios because that helps them overall. They just don't want to lend to people who look chaotic or high risk on paper. This study session is to teach you how not to look chaotic. Because I see some of the people that talk about business online, and these are people that charge an arm and a leg for information, and they're telling people stuff that's just confusing them. And that's not what we want to do here. We want to make this a very to the point, easy to comprehend presentation. So let's be simple. There are 3 pillars of a fundable business. I want you guys to write this down. There are 3 pillars of a fundable business, and this is what the banks really look for. The first one is proper structure, and we're going to go over each one of these pillars in detail, but I want you to write this down. The first one is proper structure. The next one is business credibility, and the third one is personal and business credit readiness. Everything else that you see online is noise. This is what the banks are looking for in a nutshell. Proper structure, business credibility, and personal and business credit readiness. All right. So if you know every step that you need to take, right, and you know what you should be working toward, and you know that you have a certain way that you need to look on paper for these corporations or for these banks, then by the time that by you having that comprehension, you'll be able to build up properly the proper foundation, as I always talk about. And by the time you go for funding, you can pretty much predict how much funding you'll get. You may even be surprised because they may even give you more than what your predictions are on based on how good you look on paper. Let's go over the first pillar. Pillar 1, proper structure. All right. To be fundable, your business must be formed as an LLC or corporation. An LLC or a corporation. Now, in our business bootcamp, we will be talking about how to be the trustee. So you'll create your own private non-statutory trust, and you'll open a private anonymous LLC and you'll let that LLC, that you'll let the trust, the private trust, be the owner of the LLC, and you'll operate as a representative. So that way you'll be just a trustee and nothing will have any connection to you, and you can operate 100% privately and pay yourself through your LLC as an employee from your own corporation that you are controlling, but you have no ownership on paper. This is the game you want to play moving forward. We want to play the same game that they've been playing, that's been getting them in the positions that we thought we could not get in. It's only because they created the game, they created the rules, they understood the rules, they passed the rules down through generations, and guess what? Now the rules have been passed down to the others, the ones you didn't want to know the rules, and now we know the rules. We're going to play the game, and we're going to knock you out of your spot. The only way we're going to get this pyramid structure that they have in the United States to even out is if we become billionaires and millionaires as well. And the only way we can do that is by playing their system. We never knew that there was a such thing as good debt. Every time we heard the word debt, we got afraid. But there is a such thing as good debt. And good debt is the debt that you're going to create when you understand how to create these corporations, these entities that can go and get this funding. That's good debt, because you're going to use that debt and you're going to make equity from it. This is why you have to have a vision. You can't build this business up and get this funding and then just act like, a regular person, go pay your bills. And no, you have to make a way for this money to go out. You have to deploy your soldiers so that they can circulate and bring you back more. That's how you should be thinking about money. It's a currency, it's an energy, and it has to flow. Your mindset is the blockage. So if you're low on cash, think about how you think. Listen to the things that come out of your mouth. Question your belief system. So to be fundable, your business must be formed as an LLC or a corporation, filed correctly with the state, with whichever state that is. It can also be a foreign entity, which we'll talk about that in the boot camp. You need to be using a safe NAICS code. NAICS stands for North American Industry Classification System. It's a 6-digit number that is used for collecting and analyzing statistical data on the United States economy, as well as for administrative, regulatory, contracting, and taxation purposes. So this number is very important. You guys need to write this down. This NAICS number will pretty much let them know what industry your corporation or LLC is operating in. So when we say industry, you have industries like transportation. We have a trucking company, and that's the transportation industry. That is a high-risk industry, by the way. There are high-risk industries. I'll name a few off the top. One of them is agriculture. Another is fishing, forestry, construction, transportation, like I said. So trucking, we have our own trucking company. So that is under transportation. That's high risk. Warehousing, manufacturing, mining, financial. Like if you're trying to start your own fintech, which is like a small online bank, or credit repair, gambling, adult entertainment, selling like crypto or CBD and marijuana, things of that nature. They are high risk. High risk means that the banks are very little, like they're less likely to lend funding to you, because your business, by being the type of business it is, it could possibly have these ups and downs in the economy where you might not be able to pay back the funding. Okay. That's what makes it high risk, is how it's paid. Like the adult industry, or let me give you a better example, like medical marijuana, like the dispensaries and CBD and stuff like that. Most of them are cash only, so banks don't usually like to deal with that because it's not really a hard paper trail. Also, they just like to see things more digital. Banks are more digital, but we also had, like I said, we have the trucking company, and that's under transportation. And with trucking, the rates in trucking always fluctuate. So the reason why trucking is high industry is because, sometimes the rates are freaking awesome, and other times the rates are horrible and the gas prices are ridiculous. And so, it's hard to predict. All right. Oh, and restaurant industry is also high risk for the same reason. Consulting used to be a very safe option for you to use the NAICS code, but because people have been using it so much and then getting caught doing like credit repair and stuff like that, the banks have kind of cracked down on that. So it's kind of mid risk. It's not high risk, but it's mid risk. So again, let's get back into this. So you need to use the safe NAICS code, which I just broke down to you. You have to have matching information across all your documents. So everything from the beginning to the end has to have the information has to be seamlessly the same. It needs to be built with a business bank account. So as soon as you do everything, you need to open that business bank account or business bank accounts because you can get more than one. It needs to be operating under the EIN and not your SSN. Using a business address, not your home address. So if you do hair, it can't be your mom's address. It can't be your address, your homegirl address. It has to be a brick and mortar. If you don't actually do hair from like a salon suite or anything like that, or you like do like some type of service like doing nails or something, if you don't do it from a salon suite, then you would have to get a virtual address, and you can get them online. And a virtual address looks like you have a brick and mortar, but you don't. Using a business phone number, so you have to have an actual 1-800 number. You can't use like Google Voice or anything like that. You have to have an actual, and again, you can use Google Voice. You can have your mom's address or your personal address, but it's just going to limit the amount of funding that you're able to get. So you still can operate under your SSN. You still can use your home address. You can use all of that stuff, but your funding levels are going to be a lot lower. I'm telling you from personal experience. I used to do hair. I did hair since I was 13 years old. I did it professionally for like 6 to 7 years. I did it out of my house, and I used all of my personal information because I knew nothing about business. I was able to get funding for that business. I was able to get like 20K in funding, but that's all I could get. That was all I could get. When really, you can get up to like 250,000. Like somebody just said, they got $1 million in funding. So depending on how your business looks on paper, you can get millions of dollars in funding. Sometimes you have to go back in different tranches, and tranches are like every time that you go to the bank to apply for funding. That's what a tranche is. That's what they call it. That's like banking terminology. So every time you go to the bank to go for funding, and that could be every 3 to 6 months, depending on what your goals are. But I don't want to confuse you guys. Um, you need to be using a website and a business email, not gmail.com. So whatever your business name, it has to be a real live business email. If one of these details is mismatched, the bank will flag you, and your structure is everything. And once they flag you, so every time you get flagged, they're knocking off the amount of funding that you have access to. For a brand new LLC that's set up properly and with good personal credit, you can get 50K just as soon as you open the business bank account, as soon as you start the business. But it has to be properly structured, and you have to have excellent personal credit. Every time that every one of these things, if it's not done properly, you're limiting yourself in funding. You're closing the doors for yourself. All right. So do it right the first time. Build the proper foundation the first time so you don't have to backtrack. All right. Pillar 2, business credibility. Banks will cross check. So everything that you tell them, they're going to go look. They literally will go on the Secretary of State website and look it up. They're going to check with the IRS with the EIN number. If you have a business that requires you to have a license, like for our trucking company, we have to have a MC and a DOT number. These numbers allow us to operate. The MC number allows us to operate cross state lines, so we can cross into different states. And the DOT number just allows us to operate under the Department of Transportation. All right. So we have to follow their rules and regulations, and they are federal. So certain things we need, like when we're going through different states, sometimes we need to go and stop and pay for like some type of license to get through different states. I'm not a trucker. I don't really know the terminology. I just know that it happens sometimes. But it's sometimes we'll like going through like Arizona or something like that, they'll make you pay a fee for some type of license. And so the banks look for all of this stuff. So everything has to be done correctly the first time. They're going to check your website. So say for instance, this happened to us actually. when my husband was doing consulting, he was actually doing credit repair. This is why I'm telling you guys from my own experience. He was actually doing credit repair, and we had a website built. And on the website, it had stuff about financial needs, and all of that kind of stuff. So he went to go apply for a business bank account with Navy Federal. And when we did the interview with the banker over the phone, she was looking at the website and she said, "Oh, I thought you said you didn't do funding." And we're like, "Oh, we don't do funding." And she's like, "Well, it's right here on your website." Literally, we couldn't get the bank account open. So it's stuff like that. Small things like that can set you back. It's really good for you to do it right the first time. Again, the business address has to be a brick and mortar, not a home address. So if you don't actually have a suite that you work from, then you can rent one online. There are websites like regus.com, where you can pay a monthly fee. You get under a contract, like we have like 2-year contract, and you pay a certain amount every month they pick up your mail. They have you listed on their registry as a business that is inside of that building. If you ever need to work in the offices, you can go in and book office space time. There's a lot of things that you can do when you have a virtual office. It's not just do not get iPostal 1. That will not work. Do not get iPostal 1. All right, it has to be an actual brick and mortar that you can go to. Like, we can go to our office. We can do meetings in our office if we need to. We can do conferences in our office. We can go and pick up our mail, but they mail it to us every week. But if we wanted to go and intercept the mailing, we can go and pick it up ourselves. Like, it has to be an actual place. We have receptionists that they can call over the phone, things of that nature. Your phone number, it cannot be just a cell number. It has to be an actual live number. Also, with our businesses, we have like a auto attendant. So when you call, it says, "Welcome to whatever our businesses is," and then it gives you a list of to speak with this department or to speak with this person, press this, and things of that nature. Just like any other corporation. All right. And it's a 1-800 number. Our business email is our business names. And the bank account information all match. The industry code that we have for our particular industries, different industries, we have different industry codes. And again, like I said, with our transportation business, it is high risk. But we knew that getting into trucking. And then again, your digital footprint. So you must look like a real business everywhere and not just on paper. So you have to look like a legit business, even if all you do is life coaching. Literally, like I want to fix my life type of situation. If that's all you do, you have to have like you have to have social media pages, and you have to look like somebody who's doing business. Okay. Even if this business is 100% passive, it has to make sense for you to get funding on paper. Pillar 3, personal credit requirements. So personal credit is a major factor. Like I said at the beginning, I wanted to be transparent and real with you guys. You have to have excellent credit. So lenders are looking for a 680 plus FICO score, not the Vantage score. So whatever your score is on Credit Karma is not the score I'm talking about. I'm talking about your actual FICO score. You can find them in the Experian app for free, and that's the most accurate one you can get. Or you could also order your reports for free at my free annual credit report or myannualfreecreditreport.com, one of those things. And you can get all 3 of them for free. All right, so you have to have a 680 plus FICO score, low utilization, ideally under 20%. We say 10% or under. 10% is kind of like the best place you want to be, but you can actually, the lower the better, because they're looking at that. There are data points within your credit report that they will be looking at. So if you have high utilization, which means that you've been maxing out your credit cards, all your credit cards have a high balance to the, like, say for instance, you had a $15,000 credit card and you owe $14,000. That's high utilization. They're not going to give you any funding because they're going to say, well, you already, yeah, that's the prime spot. Exactly. They're going to say you already owe on what you have, so we're not going to lend you anything more. So you have to have low utilization. No recent late payments. If you have any late payments within the past 2 years, they're not going to deal with you. You don't look credible. They most likely They mostly just look at the past 2 years in detail. Like they comb through the past 2 years the most. The rest of it, they're not really too much worried about. So the past 24 months have to look good. And then at least 3 open revolving accounts. So you have to have a credit mix. You can have store cards, a car note, a mortgage, rent payments, because some rent payments report to your credit, phone bills, utility bills, regular credit cards, gas cards, loans, things of that nature. All right. So no unpaid collections, no recent credit seeking behavior. So you can't have no recent, a whole lot of recent inquiries. If you have a whole lot of recent inquiries, they can look and see like, oh, you're desperate for credit. You cannot have a whole freaking mess of inquiries at all, like 17, 20, 9. When I used to fix credit, people used to have like 30 hard inquiries. And I'm like, after you got denied the first couple of times, why would you keep applying? That don't even make sense. So you can't have a whole lot of inquiries. You can't have a brand new looking credit card like that you had only like a month or two. If you had anything new on your credit, it should be 6 months or older. All right. And you need to have clean, stable credit history. Your personal credit is the gateway to the business credit. So your personal credit will be a personal guarantee for your business's first funding, your first amount, or your first tranche, should I say. So when you first go for funding the very first time, that's the only time your personal credit will be used. Anytime after that, it's going to be strictly the business. All right. And that's what allows you to grow the amount of funding so quickly. So what lenders look for in business credit? So they look for business bank account activity. So they look for merchant deposits. They look for clean books. They look for a low risk NAICS code, time in business. So how long you've been running your business, no mixed banking. So they don't want to see that you have these different bank accounts. You can have different bank accounts, but they don't need to know it. So whatever bank you're creating that relationship with should only know the relationship that you have with them. If they feel like you're cheating on them, they get a little bit offended. So treat it like it's a real live relationship. And business credibility checklist, proper documentation and business credibility checklist completed. So they want to know that your business is credible on paper with all of the things that I already talked about with you guys in the previous slides. Banks give money to structured businesses, not confused ones. So the more structure you have, the higher risk, the higher probability you have of getting more funding, higher amounts of funding. Let's talk about the digital shift. So we're moving into a fully digital numbers-based economy. Businesses positioned in this new system will survive. Employees, depending on job stability, will struggle because these jobs or these corporations are moving into having more AI ran corporations, more automated businesses where they can lower the amount of people, real live people that they're paying, and they can cut back on costs, and they can pretty much put back into their AI products. If you don't know, I'm not into politics, but this is the world we live in. But all of the countries are in a race to get this AI system started. And Donald Trump wants America to beat China, and China and America, or United States, should I say, are fighting neck and neck to be the top at this AI shit. So just be ready because it's happening. We don't, again, want to be reactive. We want to be proactive. So we want to already know what's happening. We can see it before it happens. We already knew. A lot of people knew what was going to happen in 2008 with the financial crash, but most of the people did not know. They were blindsided by what happened in that financial crash. They had no idea it was coming. Nobody was paying attention. Everybody was living life and living a vida loca, celebrating holidays and chumming it up with their friends. Nobody knew that a huge financial crash was coming that would cause a recession as big as it was, right? Nobody was ready for that. Well, we've been through enough of that to see now that if we're not more ready, we should be ready than ever, because we can see it. We can foresee how huge this economic bubble, this crash that we're heading towards, is going to be huge. And we don't want to be those people who are trying to still worry about our jobs. After 2020, you should know that your job looks at you like a freaking number. They don't care if you're, you know, happy or not. They just want to know, are you coming in to fulfill the position? Are you coming in to do this work? If you're not, you got to go. Are you going to comply when we say you got to put this in your arm because the government said you got to do it or you can't work? Like, you see what I'm saying? We should want to be taking ourselves out of those positions at this moment while we can before shit hits the fan, because being a business owner and being the trustee of a private business is even better than anything, especially being an employee. This is why business ownership is no longer an option, it's a necessity. We're going back to how things used to be. The saying, mind your business. Well, it wasn't a term for you to be like being sarcastic or anything. It was more so of people saying, mind the business that pays you. Everyone had their own business. Everyone was a business owner. Everybody, families that were blacksmiths had blacksmith businesses. You had families who were what they call lumberjacks. You had families that were train operators. You know what I mean? So you have families that were shoemakers. These businesses were family businesses, and the only way that you can have a business that was around for 100 years is because you taught your generations that being a business is the way to go, and not looking for someone else to give us these opportunities. And we live in a time now with this AI stuff where literally you can create a business from your computer, from your phone. Forget having a computer. You can create a business from your computer and you can change your life from your phone. Okay. So I'm trying to tell you guys, while time is permitting and while it's on our side, let's make the decision now to prepare. All right. So how to prepare now? Now, if you weren't taking notes for anything that I said previously, now you want to take notes. Okay. This is time to take notes. So if you have bad or flawed credit, you need to fix your personal credit. If you need help with that, shoot us an email at divinetrustbaby07@gmail.com and we will point you in a direction with something that will help you. We know it will help you. We've done it for ourselves and we've done it for others. We had a credit repair company a few years ago. We stopped repairing people's credit for them because I feel like people should know how to do it themselves. Once you know how to do something, you can always do it. You always have yourself to rely on. So I feel like if I can teach you something one time and you can master it, you'll be able to, one, teach others, and two, you'll always be self-sufficient and you'll never have to pay for the information again. Okay? So if you have better flawed credit, you want to fix your personal credit. You want to choose a low-risk industry. You want to form your entity properly. These are for people who have good credit and want to start the business. You want to choose that low-risk industry. Again, that's the NAICS code, and that stands for North American Industry Classification System. And it's the 6-digit number that is used for collecting and analyzing statistical data on the United States economy, as well as for administrative, regulatory, contracting, and taxation purposes. All right. So you want to make sure you have a good one that matches what you actually do. So it has to match what you do. You want to form your entity properly. You want to create your business credibility, which we're not going to talk about in this presentation. But if you want to join that DTB Bootcamp, you definitely will get the detailed way on how to do this. Literally, as you're going through this 4-week boot camp, you'll be doing the steps. So when you come back to class during that next week, you'll be able to say, hey, I did this, this, and this. Let's go on to this, this, and this. And by the time you're at the end of this class, you should be able to go and apply for that funding. We're looking for people who already have good credit, but if you don't have good credit, it is okay for you to still come, because this information you will use once your credit is where it needs to be. And again, this stuff is so easy to do. It's not hard. It is so possible. I've done it many times. I've been through financial hardship that me and my husband literally just kind of like was like 2022. And 2022 is when we went through a serious financial downfall with all of our businesses. They all went belly up because we just didn't have the finances anymore to sustain it, because we did not understand finances. Well, now we do. So we know that You want to have good debt and you want to circulate your funds. Well, we weren't doing that, and we weren't doing things properly. We weren't even paying ourselves separately. So we learned a lot. Just put it that way. You want to open a business checking account. You want to set up clean monthly transactions, which in that boot camp we'll be teaching you guys how to do that as well. Even if your business does not have business when it first starts off, we'll show you how to simulate business. All right. Again, there are ways to do things. There is so much. You just have to know how to create proper paper trails. That's all it is. And you have to understand contracts. Build your digital presence. So if you're somebody who wants to be a content creator, you want to teach something that you know online, people want knowledge. What you think is not knowledge, literally your experience is your knowledge. You literally could have went through something that is common and other people have went through it, and you get on the internet and tell your story, and now people want you to help them with their lives. It's just that simple. There's a market for everyone. You also want to avoid applying too soon. So you don't want to just jump out there and go apply for this stuff, because once you screw up your credit to a point where you got too many inquiries, you just don't want to do that. You want to take your time. You want to make sure you have that foundation properly set up, and then you want to move according to how you look on paper. And if you're not ready, then you don't need to be moving at all. Funding is predictable when the structure is correct. All right. So this is how me and my husband can help. For those who need help getting their business structured correctly, we offer services to help you establish your business, set up systems for automation or passive income businesses, build operations, automate your workflow, create passive income models, manage and run the business, and build long-term sustainability. This is how people build wealth quietly and consistently. This is why I don't have to be on the internet talking about how much money I make, because it just comes in. I don't have to go out and flash. Trust me, I lived that lifestyle before. It ain't worth it. We spent a lot of money on that designer shit, and you can't even sell it for the same amount of money that you bought it for. It's a waste of time. It's not worth it. It's best to build quietly. It's best to build foundationally. It's best to build in a steady, consistent manner, and not just try to ball out of control. I've lived that life before. And I want to give you guys a bonus. So if you didn't know what kind of industries or kind of businesses to start that are passive and easy to manage, if you didn't have any type of idea, again, anybody can do this. You literally can create AI avatars, guys. To if you're shy and you don't want to get on the internet, you can create an AI avatar to do it for you. It's so much opportunity out here with this digital system that if you're not one of those people who are innovative or open-minded enough, you're going to miss the wave. This is like one of those opportunities where it's so young, it's in the beta stages, and it's best to jump in now. So I'm going to tell you some businesses, and I'll point out some of the ones that I actually have. Maybe in another slideshow, I'll show pictures and videos and stuff. But here, let's get into it. This is the most lucrative and easy to manage passive businesses for 2025 through 26 and beyond. All right. These are the industries positioned to thrive in the digital automated post-employment economy we're shifting into. Again, they don't want people working because they're trying to usher in AI. And once they get you to stay home, they're going to be giving you a universal basic income. I don't know if they're going to call it that, but I've heard that terminology being thrown around. And pretty much what that is they're going to be teaching you. I mean, they're not teaching you, excuse me. They're going to be sending you guys a check every month. They're going to be sending the people a check every month to stay home. It's going to be like their way of paying us. This is why Trump is dangling around this $2,000 money check that they're supposed to be giving for the tariffs or something like that, and how much money was left over. It is enough to give each American $2,000 or something like that. Well, they're getting you prepared to sit home and be paid to sit home. Because once AI is fully enacted, they will not need the manpower that they used to need. And they'll be more productive because they'll be able to move at a faster pace. So they're not going to need the manpower, and the employment is going to drop tremendously. The only people who are guaranteed jobs are people who do like cybersecurity and things of that nature when it comes to this AI. Outside of that, they're not going to need a lot of professions are going to be gone. Doctors are not going to be needed in the same way as they are needed. Like, you're going to have to deal with AI. That's just the reality of it. That's where we're moving. That's where they're pushing towards, unless some big cataclysm takes place to put an end to this. That's the direction we're moving in. So we have to be realistic and not be afraid. Don't be afraid of change. Make the change worthwhile. So these are the industries positioned to thrive in the digital automated post-employment economy we're shifting into. These businesses are low overhead, which means you don't need a lot of money to run them, and that's the beauty of it. They're scalable because they're so low cost to manage that you can easily grow in those fields. You can easily add to because of the low overhead. They're fundable because the banks love them, so you can easily build your credit and build everything up, build your business, and go to the banks and easily get funding. And they can be managed passively with systems, outsourcing, or proper operations. All right. Let's get into the best passive automated businesses to start in 2025, 2026. Digital service agencies, fully outsourced. Some examples will be credit repair, done legally, ethically, and outsourced. There are Filipino ex-employees of Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. They used to work for these companies. They know everything about credit when it comes to what those companies are looking for. They know how to do data entry. They know everything when it comes to that, and they charge very little. You can pay them like $5 a day or more, depending on what but you can pay them very little because to them it's a lot, and they can run your business 100% for you passively. Marketing agencies. You can create a marketing agency and people pay you to market their business. All right. It's literally a real thing. These companies need their businesses to get out there. They need SEO. SEO is search engine optimization. And search engine optimization basically allows when you type in, say, for instance, you put food near me. Well, those people pay Google to do search engine optimization. They pay Google to market for them. Other people outsource and pay other companies. Like there are marketing agencies for doctors who just started their own practices and they need their patients. You know what I mean? So there's a market for everything. Virtual assistant firms. You can literally create your own virtual assistant firm and you can hire the people to do the work for other people. You can be like a temp agency for virtual assistants and you put them on with the jobs. Content creation agencies, helping people who create content with scheduling, timing, bookings, things of that nature. Automation agencies that create automation for emails, for phone calls, for um, typing up documents, all types of things. Social media management. You can create a management company where you manage the up and coming social media influencers, and you use the money to manage them and get more money. It's a lot that you can do, but I'm just giving you guys a whole lot of ideas. Why it's powerful? Because the cost is low to start. It's easy to outsource, meaning to get people to do the work for you who have the expertise that you don't have at a low cost. And it's a recurring revenue because with these businesses, all of the ones that I named, you're going to be getting people to pay as like annually or monthly. So you're always going to have income. All right. Next one's in e-commerce. So if you ever thought about starting your own online store or a clothing line or any of those things, e-commerce is a good thing to go in. I had a drop shipping store where I sold baby products. I didn't use it that much, but it was easy. They did everything for me. So whenever somebody placed an order, they shipped and did all of that stuff for me at a certain amount. So it's super easy. They do print on demand. So as soon as that the person orders whatever it is that you created, they print it as soon as they order it, and they do all the shipping and everything at a percentage. And niche products. That could be like you come out during Valentine's Day and just sell all Valentine's Day stuff. You come out during Christmas and sell like Christmas ornaments, like things of that nature. Or you do it for like a specific anime, cartoon, or movie, or something like that. The reason why e-commerce in this sense is so powerful is because there's no inventory, so you don't have to spend money to stock or storage or anything like that, because the companies that you do drop shipping with, they take care of all of that for you. So everything gets done at their warehouse. It's automated fulfillment, so you don't got to worry about shipping or any of that. The shipping, tracking, all of that stuff is going to be handled by the drop shipping company. It's high scalability because you can turn around and make new products every day. You can make new merch every day that can be sold. And it's perfect for a fundable business model because the banks like the structure and revenue flow. They like to see money coming in every day. They like that. That makes them want to lend you money more. The next one is mobile food concepts or food trucks, especially niche themed or cultural foods. So if you are a chef, or even if you're not a chef, you can hire a chef. If there's a specific recipe that your family has, or you're good at cooking, or you've always wanted to do something like this, food trucks are super simple and easy to get into, especially niche themed or cultural food. So like pizza, Italian hot dogs, stuff like that. Why is strong? High profit margins, easy to staff, low overhead compared to restaurants, franchise, or expand later, and banks heavily fund equipment and growth. So you'll be able to get your equipment and be able to grow that business super easy if you have a game plan. All right. Next is, and another thing, food is going to sell itself. Even if we've all been to places where the food isn't that good, right? We've all been to places where the food's not that good, but they still have clients. They're still open, and people still go and buy their food, because what might not be good to you could be good to someone else, and food is always going to sell itself. Automated car rentals. Now, this is a business that I got into myself, me and my husband. We did Turo. So you can use Turo, get around. I don't fully recommend this business. I'll be 100% transparent with you. It is costly if it's not done properly. All right. It can cost you a lot if it's not done properly. You have to take into consideration that you're dealing with humans, and humans are going to do what humans do. So there could be circumstances where a human messes up your car. There could be a circumstance where a human crashes your car, breaks something in it, flats the tire. There are a lot of things that could happen with this automated car rental. There are times when other humans will steal your car. So this one's you have to have some financial stability already to do something like this, especially if you do luxury car rentals. But this is passive with systems, because there are systems and apps, again, like Turo, where you can post your fleet onto those websites, and the website does the work for you, or the app does the work for you, where people can just come and book. It's high demand market because people are always renting cars, especially in places like Dallas, Texas. I will tell you guys, I lived in Dallas, Texas, and renting a car in Dallas, Texas is not easy, even on a weekday. It does not matter what time of the year it is. If you do not rent your car in at least 2 weeks in advance, you cannot rent a car the same day. And it doesn't matter what location of any of the rental places that you go to, they will be booked out all the time unless you book in advance. That's just how it is, because it's a big market. People are constantly in and out of Dallas, in and out of Texas, traveling on all the time. There's a big workforce, so there's a lot of room for this. So in a place like Dallas, which we were in when we did this, it was lucrative. The cars paid themselves off because we still were leasing the cars. They paid themselves off. It's easily scalable, but it also can be dangerous if it's not properly done, or if you don't have the proper understanding or contracts put in place. So I will tell you guys, this is one of our failed businesses. But I'm not deterring you away from it. I'm just telling you my experience with it. It was lucrative when it was lucrative, but if it's not set up properly, it can fail. But lenders support vehicle purchases, so it'll be easy for you to get the cars. super easy for you to get the cars. I mean, at one point around the time where we were doing this, Bank of America was giving out loans for up to 4 cars. So people who did this were able to get 4 cars easily. We were in a group with a whole lot of other people who were doing the same thing, and all of us were just going getting cars and putting them on Toro and renting them out and starting our rental company. So it was like a group effort, but it's definitely doable, but you have to be structured properly. And it's great for people who want passive income fast, because this is fast money, just like the trucking industry, super fast money. Short-term rentals and mid-term corporate housing. This is another one of the businesses that I have. Airbnb was and is wonderful. You can also use Verbo. The only thing that I don't like about Turo and Airbnb, I'll tell you, as of recently, because so many people are learning about this and they're doing rental arbitrage, which rental arbitrage is when you don't own the property, but you're in a lease, and that a lease allows you to do short-term rental. So you can rent out that unit or that space to other people. That's what rental arbitrage is. But short-term rentals and mid-term corporate housing is very lucrative, very consistent, and very stable, because people are always traveling. You have to be in the proper location. We were in the heart of Dallas, downtown Dallas. Again, people are always coming in and out of Dallas. Dallas has a high job market. It also has a lot of like doctors and stuff that fly in and out, nurses and stuff that fly in and out, because they have so many hospitals and things of that nature. So doing it there was wonderful. We were always booked out, always, but you have to deal with people. So if you don't have the proper system in place, it can be annoying. But once you get your systems in place, it is a piece of cake. Furnish Finder, Travel Nurse Housing, and Corporate Rentals. These are websites. Corporate Rentals is not, but Furnish Finder and Travel Nurse Housing. Furnish Finder allows nurses to book your place for the long term. So some of them book for a year. Some of them book for 6 to 8 months. It just depends on how long they're going to be, because they're traveling nurses. But it's easy money. They pay for it, the place upfront. So with Airbnb, if a person wants to stay, our minimum is 2 nights. So they can stay 2 nights minimum. And say, for instance, a person wants to book our place for, let's say the most we had was like a month. But some people, you can luck up and get a person that wants to book for 3 months, but we only allow people to book 1 month out, because some people get in there and try to squat. So you want to be careful about that. You have to really deal with people in a way where, if again you're not set up properly, it can be not so successful. So this is a good business to get in, but you have to have your funding and everything ready. Also, you need to already have your places, because a lot of people, because Airbnb has got a negative rep over the past few years, a lot of people don't allow you to do Airbnb in their places anymore. So that's a little dampening. But in 2025, 2026, midterm is outperforming Airbnb in consistency and stability. So midterm is better, as I said already, than Airbnb. Midterm is better, but you have to have a contract with wherever you're renting or leasing that is open to allow you to do that. All right, or they can terminate your contract if they find out. Trucking logistics, not driving the trucks, but owning the contracts. That's what we do. All right, this is another one of the businesses we do. We don't do dispatching, but that is an option. So if you don't want to get into it, you can learn how to dispatch, and dispatching can bring you some decent dollars. But you got to know what you're doing, and there is training that is required to be a dispatcher, especially one who knows how to book loads so that you can get paid. Freight brokerage is really where the big dollars are. Freight brokerage are the people who get the loads. So they're the ones who get the loads from the companies and put them on the load board for the dispatchers to then go out and book for the driver. That's how it works, okay? And And last mile delivery coordination. This is one of the easiest ones in the truck and logistics industry to get in. Last mile delivery. Literally, you don't even have to have a truck. It will get the truck for you. All you have to do is have all of your credentials in order. And literally, if you got a good team, you can make up to 5-6K a week doing last mile delivery. And last mile delivery is delivering furniture. So you'll be delivering furniture for um different companies. It depends on who you get your contract with. When we did last mile delivery, we had a contract in Texas with Cohen's Furniture, and we did last mile delivery, and we made good money. But if you don't have a good team or a reliable team, which it took us a while to get a reliable team, but we went through a lot of guys, and it cost us a lot of money. So a lot of the money that we were making was going back into the contractors, the people we had contracts pockets, because it was paying for damaged furniture and stuff like that. So you have to, again, this is one of those businesses. Last mile is one of those businesses that you have to know what you're doing. What we do right now with our trucking company is we partner with a larger trucking company, and we allow them to dispatch, run, operate all of that with our trucks at a small percentage. So they run everything, all of the operations, the hiring, all of that stuff. They do that. All we do is come in and micromanage every now and again, but they report everything to us. They do everything for us at a percentage. So is this common? No, it's not. This is not a common thing. This is something you have to know people to know about, to know where to go. So these are things that me and my husband can help you guys with if this is something that you want to get into. But I will tell you, the trucking industry is one of the top paying industries out there. Although it fluctuates a lot, it pays and it is worth it. We've made we easily surpass 250K in 8 months or less. It just depends on the economy at the time. But it's easy to make a lot of money in the trucking industry. It's easy to scale up in the trucking industry, and it's fully administrative and fundable. We have also been able to get funding for the trucking business as well. There are lenders who deal with trucking companies. So even if the trucking company is a high risk industry, there are lenders who will work with the trucking industry or the logistics industry or transportation industry. Based off of how much money you're bringing in, they'll still give you money. Educational platforms and digital learning, which what I'm doing right here with the DTB community. This is also something that just kind of like, I didn't have no intentions on doing this stuff, just happened, and the way that I present information, the way that I learn, I kind of like just turned it into a whole thing. But again, people will pay for your experience. People will pay for your knowledge. There are a lot of people who might have went through situations who that are similar to yours, but you might have the expertise on how they can move forward in those situations, and your knowledge can help them. So never think that what you know is not enough, but you can teach what you know. You can do online classes, boot camps, memberships, templates, digital downloads. Just make sure whatever information that you're giving out is accurate. Make sure the information that you're giving out is honest. Make sure the information that you're giving out is not a scam. As long as you're doing stuff like that, people are, even if it is a scam, because there's so many people that get scammed every day by people that do educational platforms and digital teaching. Right? There's a lot of people who do it and they're just dishonest, and they're disingenuous, and they're still making out. So my point in saying that is that there's a market for everyone. This industry will not only grow, but this industry is going to expand massively in the coming digital economy, because people want to learn from real people with real experience. People are tired of the fake shit. People are looking for people that they can get into communities with that are like-minded, because in their everyday life they're singled out. They're not able to. So creating your own communities, creating things like this, if this is something that if you have knowledge and expertise in something, hey, you never know who might be open to listen, and you never know how far it might take you. Again, when I first got into this, my intentions was never to be a teacher to anybody. I just was sharing my personal experience, and one thing led to the next. So you never know where it can take you. Health, beauty, and wellness product lines. This industry will never die, especially niche, targeted, and ingredient focused lines, because recurring customers, high margins, and extremely These are extremely bank friendly businesses because people are always going to spend money on health, beauty, and wellness. So if you come out with something that is designed for people with rosacea or eczema, you come out with a line that's designed for people with 4C hair, you come out with a line that's designed for people with dyed hair, like anything, people that have skin issues. It's so many things that you can come out with, and if it is a properly put together, you can get funding and you can make a lot of money from it. You can come out with like hair growth oils, you can come out with serums for skin, and it does not have to be something that you're thinking of off the top of your head. There are literally companies that allow you to white label, and white labeling is pretty much put your label and brand on their product that's already been put together by a licensed chemist who already put all of the ingredients together. It's already been tested, it's safe to use, and you can just slap your label on it and act as if you created it. That's literally what people are doing today. So you can create a health and beauty line in literally a very short period of time. All of this stuff is super easy to get. You just have to have a plan. Automation based businesses, so using AI tools to run content channels. So again, if you want to do content, you don't want to show your face, you can create AI. You can use all of the AI tools, which are only going to get better, to create content. You literally see there are pages on YouTube, YouTube and TikTok. They're the only two social medias that I have. But on YouTube and TikTok, I see pages that have millions and millions of followers and engagement, and they never want to show a face. They're all AI. And these people are getting paid for this. They're getting paid monthly checks for the views on videos that were used or created from a prompt, and it took no effort from them. That's how easy this digital thing is going to be. Automated stores where people can just go on and click and buy. Somebody says they know the cure to cancer. You see, you can market that, but I wouldn't say it exactly like that, because you don't want to get nobody to be looking at you or looking for you. But I would, you can, it's so many things that you can do that people, you don't even have to put your face on it and you can get it done, and people will spend money on it because we're moving toward that digital, world. But AI generated products, lead generation funnels, this will explode from 2025 to 2030. AI is the direction we are moving into. Don't be afraid, be proactive. Cleaning companies, residential or commercial, these are easy companies to start, easy companies to manage, and easy companies to make money and scale from, because literally you can get someone else to do everything else for you at such a low cost. You can create the cleaning company and you can hire your people as 1099s. You literally can be like the Craigslist, where you just are the job board for all 1099 cleaners who clean residentially or commercially, and you would be the one who they come to and pay a monthly fee to host them as available cleaning companies. For then you get the other half, which would be the people who come in to look for the workers. They pay you a monthly fee as well to find the workers. So you'll be the middleman. You'll be like the Amazon of cleaning companies. These are high demand, easy to hire out, predictable contracts, low startup costs, extremely fundable, and easy to get government contracts with. And a government contract is guaranteed work. So once you solidify a government contract, for a fact that you'll be working the same thing for the same amount of time for the same amount of funds. This is one of the simplest true passive businesses if managed correctly. This business is, I promise you, I don't know why I haven't started one yet. I probably will. That's how easy it is. You literally can just be the middleman, and everybody and everything else holds the liability, and you just get paid for helping them find the work and helping the others find the workers or the companies that they want to work for them. Bonus insight: the coming years will reward businesses that have the right strategy, businesses that are simple, structured, digital, and easy to automate. Complexity is not the goal, consistency is. It's about being a solution to a problem for people looking for assistance. Keep in mind, there is no such thing as an oversaturation. You hear so many people say that the market is oversaturated with trucking. They told my husband when he was telling my family like he was going to start his own trucking company and he was going to do this and do that. My father, who was a truck driver, CDL truck driver, he never thought to start his own business or anything like that. But the first thing he says to him is, "That's an oversaturated market. It's not that much money," or something like that. You can't allow people to say that to you because there is a market for everyone and an audience for everyone. When you go grocery shopping, there are several different brands of foods. You choose the brands that resonate with you, right? So you eat the bread that you like, but there's maybe 20 other brands on the shelves right next to it. Do you go buy them? No, because it doesn't resonate with you, right? I drink Mountain Valley spring water in glass bottles. Other people drink Dasani. Dasani resonates with them more. Mountain Valley Spring resonates with me more. There's an audience for everyone. People will say that I'm crazy for spending $35 on a case of waters, 12 waters. They're what? 33 fluid ounces, 1 quart bottles, 12 of them for $35. I buy a case like every other day. People will call me crazy because some people want to spend $5 on a 24 pack of water. And it's nothing wrong with that. It's just what resonates with you. There is a market for everyone and everything. So don't allow yourself to go into that mindset of, I don't know what kind of business to start. Oh, if I start that, it might not work. No, because you're not working in the business at all. The whole idea is to create a structured entity on paper that you can get funding for so that you can grow the corporation and also grow and circulate your funds so that you can create wealth. That's the whole idea. Once you get the funding for that business that's properly funded, you're going to outsource everything. You're going to pay for everything to make this business work. You're not going to work in it. So when people complain about being a business owner, that's because they went into business with the wrong mindset. They went into the business as if it's their job. That's not the point here. The point is to start something that you have a passive relationship with, meaning that you don't have to do much to keep it alive. It's kind of like self-replicating, okay? So your brand will resonate with customers if you are properly established, structured, and operated. So customers should be the last of your worries. The main thing you should be focused on is, how do I look on paper, and is my credit ready? Is my personal credit ready? That's the first thing. And again, if your personal credit is not ready, shoot us an email at divinetrustbaby07@gmail.com, and we will redirect you to a power blueprint that will be very helpful. Less than $200. It's designed and tailored custom to each individual based on their credit and their goals. It teaches you how to do it for yourself so that you'll be self-sufficient, and the information works when applied properly and followed properly with each step that is given. So it's very detailed and super easy to follow along with. And I think it's important for us to know how to do those kind of things for ourselves. So let's go into the DTB Business Bootcamp for those of you who are interested. This is a 4-week bootcamp designed to give beginners the entire roadmap to build a legitimate business, set it up for funding, meet lender standards, understand the digital economy, build credibility, build a passive income foundation, and position yourself for long-term success. The bootcamp pricing. So realistic pricing, but tons of value, worth much more. This is life-changing information. Early bird pricing is $177 for 4 weeks. This is available immediately after this live until December 19th, 2025. So on December 19th, 2025, that $177 early bird price will go up to its regular price, which is $297. And that starts immediately after early bird closes on December 19th, 2025. So if you want to take advantage and get 4 weeks of this is 4 weeks of information, and we're going to start from the very bottom. And if you ever entered any of my boot camps or any of my courses, You know how detailed I am with my information. If I'm this detailed with my presentations on YouTube, just imagine what you get for when you pay for. Okay, this will be the only time the bootcamp is offered this low, because I'm giving out information that I feel like is worth way more. That people, when I got into business and I was paying for information about learning how to get into business, the least I paid was $5,000. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. And you couldn't even talk to the person on the phone. You couldn't even get them on the phone. You got me right here. I'm giving you guys this information for practically free, because I want you guys to take this and really do something with it, because this information will change your life. It is real. I'm telling you guys from my own personal experience. I'm telling you as a person who's come from nothing, as a person who's failed in business, who's failed in finances, who's failed in life and came back from nothing, because I learned how to do it properly. I took my time, and I understand that there is a structure and a foundation that is needed for every part of this process before you can be ready for funding. And I also understand what to do with the funding once you get it, and how to create more from it. It's not hard, but it's also something that, if this is new to you, it's something that you do need somebody who's done it before to kind of like walk you through. Because when I did it, when me and my husband did it, we did have someone to walk us through, but at the same time, he didn't know much different than us. So we kind of like, we all messed up, including the person we paid the money to help us. So my point is this: be proactive, not reactive, because we're going into a time where you need to have your own, and you don't want to be relying on a job. And again, there are people in different countries that you can pay literally $5 a day to do the work for your business and run your business. And these people in these other countries are happy with their salary. Be smart about it. So, why you should join? For those ready to change their lives, you will leave with clarity. You will know exactly what lenders want. You will learn the structure most people skip. You will be ready for funding. You will understand the digital shift. You will have step by step. You will have a step by step path, and you can attend even if your credit isn't perfect, because this is going to help you when you do get your credit where it needs to be. This is information that it doesn't expire. It's information that you can use at any time. There's no rush. It's just something that I feel like you should know. So when you're ready to use it, you have it in your arsenal. This is not motivation. This is not a feel good speech. This is preparation, so that when this economic bubble takes place, you will know where you stand financially, because you'll understand how to operate that, both good and bad. In conclusion, if you want to build something real, if you want to prepare for the coming economic shifts, if you want ownership, stability, and long-term wealth, don't wait for someone to share this type of info for this cheap. Take the opportunity before you as a personal investment for you and your coming generations' futures. This is your beginning. If this session helped, make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, comment your biggest takeaway, share this with someone who needs it, turn on post notifications so you are notified the moment we go live again. This information is for those who are serious about taking the next steps towards financial freedom, sovereignty, and financial control. Your future is built by the actions you take right now. If this information was helpful, please again like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment your biggest takeaway. Share this with someone who needs it. I appreciate you guys for being here with me tonight. The more you interact with my information, the more I will give you more. I have so much stuff to share. I was giving this stuff to my close family and they didn't understand it. But, if you guys appreciate this information and you're willing to take it and grow with it, I am willing to share. I don't have a problem with making part twos and going deeper into different parts. But again, take advantage of early bird pricing if you're ready to start your journey today. Bet on yourself and take that leap. Again, I appreciate you guys for being with me tonight. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. My email is divine trust babies. I put it in the chat. Divine trust babies 07@gmail.com. For some reason I can't type. I hope I spelled it right. I put it on the screen. divinetrustbaby07@gmail.com. And again, early bird pricing for 4 weeks is $177. After December 19th, it is going to be $297. So if you guys are interested, you can shoot us an email. We'll let you guys know how to get enrolled. Also, if you're interested in getting help with your personal credit, shoot us email as well, and we'll give you information on how to move forward with that. Other than that, I appreciate you guys for being with me tonight. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. And again, the more you support, the more I'll go live. I'll probably be posting something else sometime. I'll keep you guys in the loop. But somebody said perfect timing. I've been thinking about starting a business. That's what's up. I'm trying to tell y'all, starting a business is not hard. It's the best thing I've ever done. Again, I started from doing hair, and it was a side hustle because I was still working. And whenever I just needed extra money, I would just go ahead and take a couple of clients. And one thing led to another. I quit my job because I was making good money with it. And one thing led to another, and I started doing it like seriously. And then I was like, let me just like make a business out of this. I started paying for like photo shoots and business cards, and it just started growing and growing. And then I learned about business credit, and I learned about business funding. And like I said, the most I got for that business, which wasn't even properly structured, everything was just all over the place. It just had a business name. The address was my home address, my personal phone number, personal email, all of that stuff. And they gave me $20K for that business. And I used that $20K to start the Airbnb business. It funded the Airbnb business. And I went ahead and got into Airbnb. We got these units down in Dallas. It was a 10 unit building, like an outside motel style building. And we got those. And we started Airbnb with that 20K. So, one thing can lead to another. One thing can lead to another. So I'm just telling you guys that I want you to realize how easy it is to start your own business. It's not rocket science. It's not impossible. It's not something that is only reserved for a certain type of people. Anybody can do it. You can even get someone to run your food truck. If everything is properly structured, it can be done. It can be done. Trust me. So again, if you guys are serious about this, definitely take advantage, because the boot camp is going to be worth it. I promise you. We're going to be like combing through stuff with a fine tooth comb, specifically based on my personal experience with business in different industries and what I've actually experienced with going, for funding and what they're looking for in the credit report, and what will make you get denied, and what to do once you get the funding and how to grow it, and what type of companies can you go to help with this and that and this and that. It's a lot of stuff. Especially if you're somebody who's interested in getting in any of the industries that I've done myself. I literally can give you information that can help you, shortcut you to get where you need to go faster than if you were just finding out on your own. Somebody said, what kind of food? But other than that, again, I appreciate you guys for being here. I'll keep you guys in the loop when it comes to when I'll go live again, which will probably be sometime next week. I don't know. But I'll keep you guys in the loop. Stay tuned. Stay posted. Like, subscribe, comment, share. And I will see you guys in the next live. Again, have a wonderful rest of your night. I'm out.